How we begin our day can truly shape the hours that follow. Many find that a few moments of quiet reflection, a spiritual start through morning prayer, can make all the difference. There's a universal yearning, isn't there, for a sense of peace amidst the chaos, strength for the challenges ahead, and a feeling of protection as we navigate our complex lives. This is where the practice of a heartfelt prayer can become such a powerful anchor. We're about to explore one such prayer, a deeply personal conversation that offers not just daily guidance but also profound inner calm. What's remarkable is how this prayer finds its roots in the timeless wisdom of an ancient spiritual song, Psalm 91, weaving its enduring truths into a very present plea for divine companionship and support. This beautiful prayer, so rich in meaning and comfort, doesn't begin in a vacuum. It draws its initial strength and confidence from that powerful ancient text. So, before we delve into the personal pleas of the prayer itself, let's explore the incredible assurances this psalm offers as a firm foundation for our daily conversation with the divine. Indeed, this scriptural bedrock, the celebrated Psalm 91, is far more than ancient poetry. It's a vibrant and living declaration of God's unwavering protective care. For generations, it has served as a foundational prayer, a profound source of spiritual refuge for those seeking divine protection and a steadfast faith foundation. At its heart, Psalm 91 unfurls a series of powerful God's promises, painting a vivid picture of a secure shelter in God. It speaks of dwelling safely under the shelter of the Most High, finding rest in the shadow of the Almighty. These terms, Most High God and Almighty God, aren't just lofty titles, they convey ultimate power and supreme authority, offering an immediate sense of who this protector is, one whose oversight is complete and whose strength is unparalleled. The psalm assures deliverance from all kinds of dangers, both seen and unseen, the hidden fowler's snare that seeks to trap us, the deadly pestilence that threatens health, or the terror of night that preys on our fears, providing scriptural assurance against them. This profound psalm also unveils the comforting concept of angelic guardianship, with angels personally commanded to guard you in all your ways, even lifting believers so they do not stumble. Imagine that, a personal, heavenly escort ensuring your steps are secure. Furthermore, the psalm highlights God's personal commitment. Because he loves me, says the Lord through the psalmist, I will rescue him, I will protect him. I will be with him in trouble, I will deliver him and honor him. This isn't a distant, impersonal force, it's a deeply personal pledge from the divine, forming a solid platform upon which true confidence can be built. With such potent assurances from Psalm 91 firmly anchoring our hearts and minds, we are truly prepared to approach God with a spirit of both confidence and vulnerability. The prayer we are exploring then beautifully transitions from these declarations of God's might to a personal, heartfelt plea, beginning with that deep human longing for inner peace and the courageous act of surrendering our burdens. Let's see how this tender exchange unfolds. This tender exchange indeed begins with an active search, a yearning to be enveloped not just by safety, but by a divine peace so profound it surpasses all worldly understanding. It's an invitation to consciously choose to dwell in God's calming presence, seeking an inner sanctuary where the clamor of daily troubles cannot easily reach, fostering a deep spiritual comfort. Imagine the immense emotional release that comes with such a decision. The prayer beautifully models this by guiding us toward a quiet moment where one can open my heart completely to you. This isn't a partial offering, it's the liberating act of intentionally laying down every burden, every fear, and every uncertainty. How often do we carry these weights, feeling their pressure on our shoulders? Here, we find a clear path to relief, a profound letting go of worry. The prayer then affirms a deep trust in God as a personal, reliable protector, declaring, "You are my protector, my strong fortress, the one I can always turn to in times of need." This understanding of God isn't as a distant deity but as an ever-present help, a constant source of strength. And what enables this complete surrender to God? It's the unwavering love that forms the very bedrock of this trust. The heartfelt words, "Your love for me is steadfast, unwavering, and it is this love that I trust with every cell of my being," highlight that it's this secure, constant affection that allows for such vulnerability and fosters true intimacy with the divine. It's a surrender rooted not in defeat, but in the profound assurance of being unconditionally loved and securely held in God's presence. Once we found a quiet space of peace and laid down our anxieties, the prayer instinctively turns towards seeking God's active protection in the face of a world that often feels unpredictable and challenging. How does this prayer articulate our need for safety? The heartfelt prayer articulates this deep-seated need for safety by calling upon God's comprehensive protection, a spiritual covering that extends to every facet of life. It courageously acknowledges the unseen dangers that lie ahead, those subtle physical, emotional, or spiritual threats that we often cannot even comprehend, yet God sees them all. The earnest plea is for deliverance from these perils, whether they manifest as temptation, deceit, or direct harm. More than just passive shielding, it's an active seeking of divine guidance. Guide my steps, Lord, so that I may walk in your light, and avoid the snares that the enemy has set before me. This includes protection from making decisions that could lead away from his path, asking for his wisdom to be our guide and his grace our compass. The imagery evoked is profoundly comforting. We hear echoes of God as our personal shepherd, one who leads to still waters and green pastures, ensuring provision and peace. The prayer tenderly requests to be covered by his wings, as a mother bird covers her young, shielding them from the dangers of the world, creating a powerful picture of a secure safe haven. This shield of faith is then explicitly extended outward, a prayer for family protection, for friends, and for the sanctity of home, that no harm or sickness would touch them. Furthermore, there's a deep gratitude and reliance on angelic protection, recognizing the heavenly messengers as guardians in every moment. Ultimately, refuge is found in God's truth, which stands as an unshakable fortress against the lies and deceptions that so often attempt to unsettle our minds, a constant reminder of his scriptural assurance. Yet, true well-being encompasses more than just being shielded from harm. It also involves possessing the inner fortitude to face life's inevitable challenges and fears with courage. The prayer, therefore, doesn't merely ask for passive protection. It courageously seeks divine empowerment. Let's explore how it guides us to not just endure, but to find strength and actively overcome our battles. This courageous seeking of divine empowerment unfolds as the prayer passionately calls for God's strength, the divine strength needed to navigate life's inevitable daily challenges and trials. There's a candid admission, I cannot face them on my own, which beautifully opens the door to plead for his indispensable guidance, his profound wisdom, and his enabling power. A significant aspect of this empowerment is the focus on overcoming fear. The prayer addresses both the insidious anxieties that arise in the stillness of the night, when worries race, and also the arrows that fly during the day, those unexpected difficulties, temptations, and hardships that can ambush us with force. The earnest request is for God's light to flood the heart, dispelling all fear and instilling his peace, thus enabling a confident and secure walk through each day, knowing his presence is a constant guide and protector. The prayer's call for divine empowerment unfolds with a passionate plea for God's strength, essential for navigating life's daily challenges. Admitting, I cannot face them on my own, it seeks his guidance, wisdom, and power. A key focus is overcoming fear, nocturnal anxieties that arise in the stillness of the night, and the sudden arrows that fly during the day. The request is for God's light to banish fear, filling the heart with peace for a confident daily walk, assured of his guiding presence. Significantly, this section marks a shift to active participation in God's promised victory. The prayer affirms, with you I am more than a conqueror, equipped for facing adversity. This isn't about an absence of struggles, but about wielding God-given spiritual authority and resilience. It's about standing firm, treading upon the threats that once intimidated, drawing courage from God to confront challenges. This builds a profound sense that with him, one is truly unstoppable, stepping into Christian victory, no longer just sheltered but also strong, ready to face whatever may come with a spirit of resilience and faith and courage in God. This is about moving from being protected to being a proactive, spiritually empowered individual. Empowered by this divine strength and filled with a conqueror's spirit, our perspective inevitably shifts. We begin to look beyond the immediate battles to the grander narrative of God's unwavering faithfulness and the deeply reassuring promise of a life lived in enduring hope and ultimate fulfillment. How does the prayer guide us in trusting God's larger, often unseen, plan and in envisioning a future radiant with His abundant blessings? The prayer guides us by fostering a deep-seated trust in God's ultimate justice, especially when confronted by a world where wrongdoing can seem to go unchecked. It's a conscious choice to say, "I trust in your justice, Lord," knowing that you see all and that you will make all things right in your time, alleviating the need to take matters into one's own hands. This hope in God anchors the soul. This trust extends to God's unwavering promise of divine deliverance and honor for those who set their love upon Him and acknowledge His name. The plea, "Lift me up, Lord, and place me in a position of honor," is not about self-glory but a reflection of God's goodness. The prayer then voices a universal human desire: "Satisfy me with a long and fulfilling life, Lord, a life filled with His presence, His abundant blessings, and His profound peace." It's a holistic vision, seeking to experience His salvation, His healing, restoration, and wholeness, tangibly at work in relationships, work, health, and the entire spiritual journey. This purposeful living, mindful of His presence and grateful for His provision, allows one to truly rest in His promises, knowing He is faithful. This journey through such a comprehensive and heartfelt morning prayer, deeply rooted in the timeless wisdom of Psalm 91 and branching out to touch every conceivable facet of our daily lives, ultimately brings us to a place of profound gratitude and a quiet, determined desire to carry this divine connection forward into every moment. What final, resonant thoughts and gentle invitations does this prayer leave with us as we prepare to embrace our day? Having journeyed through the depths of this heartfelt morning prayer, from the steadfast assurances rooted in Psalm 91 to the earnest pleas for peace, protection, and a life illuminated by divine purpose, we arrive at a place of quiet gratitude and hopeful living. The core message is truly uplifting. There's a profound possibility of discovering daily peace, unwavering protection, and abundant strength simply by fostering a conscious, heartfelt divine connection. Such a prayer practice offers immense spiritual well-being, a tangible comfort and empowerment as we navigate our days. The prayer itself builds upon a strong foundation, consistently seeking guidance, safety, and ultimate fulfillment. Perhaps the most beautiful invitation it extends is for each of us to consider embracing a similar prayerful start to our own day, fostering our own unique prayer practice. This isn't about rigid ritual, but about finding a personal, meaningful way to connect and draw strength. The path it illuminates can lead to carrying a renewed faith and a joyful start into every tomorrow, embracing each day with a spirit uplifted and equipped for whatever it may hold.